In Audio Reviews Audio Media Part 174, The School for Good and Evil. I had a lot of requests for Lady Lessa, more for the book than for the movie, but for the series I usually tend to lean toward the shorter option. I'm not sure if the autistic coding is stronger in the book and it didn't quite carry over to the film, or if this is just a case where people are seeing a character with primarily flat affect who is generally weird and translating that as autistic coding when, at least for me, did not tick enough boxes for me to consider it coded. She is unbelievably queer coded, however, and those two kinds of coding can often have a lot of overlap or seem like one or the other. And I think the use of autistic coding as a narrative tool in this film more widely is really interesting, however, in that in order to organize the characters into a perceived binary of good and evil, they have to be at the far extreme of those traits, which sort of creates a situation where everybody is more neurodivergent coded than not. But this is where there's an important distinction to be made between autistic and autistic coding. If any of the characters are autistic, I think the only one I might point to would be Gregor, while the rest are simply utilizing this coding to create a specific vibe or aesthetic and get a narrative point across, which I always find interesting and really cool if executed properly, which I think this film did a great job of. I'm always a fan of the kind of story where it's like based on or inspired by other world building, so it feels familiar and you sort of know where it's going but also sort of don't. And I felt like this movie took me on quite the adventure that I really enjoyed. My one critique would be that in The School for Good they had a wheelchair user in one scene and I don't think I ever saw them again for the rest of the film, and also the school did not look very ADA compliant, so I thought that was odd. And the short-statured character appeared, I believe, only twice. And they also imply on several occasions that facial scarring is ugly. And disability aside, the queer baiting is almost physically painful. But other than that, it's quite a fun experience, and I did enjoy it.